my name is Angie. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. This is a channel where I typically like to make videos about books as well as homeschooling. Today's video is a homeschooling video. It is the second of 3 videos in my curriculum for the 2020-2021 school year, which is crazy to say. And so I will link my video from Monday on family subjects below. And then the one on Friday will be where I'm sharing more about my daughter, and she's in kindergarten. So look for those if you are interested in those. Today, we are going to be talking about first grade. So my son, he is going to be 6.5 come fall. And so he's doing more first grade work, which I'm very excited for him. He's also doing 1 day of an enrichment school, and he loves it. He's hoping to get into the Spanish class, the Lego class, the robotics class. So they are gone 1 day a week, and then I have them for 4 days. What curriculum are we using for him? Lots of good stuff. Now, like I said, I already shared all the science, history, Bible, character, art, all the stuff on Monday in my family subjects. So this is more his skill subjects. So phonics, he is still very much in the process of learning to read. We have used Logic of English Foundations in the past, and we loved it. It is a fantastic program. He went through A and B in a kind of about 1.5 years. We started him a little young, so he had kind of a slow on-ramp, but he really started to pick it up at the end. And so I picked up Foundations C and D. And these are the teacher's guides. And then it also comes with student workbooks. Like here, and these are the ones that he writes in and does all the problems, and they're very colorful and very fun. It is a very fun program. I have loved it for many, many reasons. That I have a review video kind of describing my favorite parts about it, but to recap a little bit of that, it's very much phonics based. It's not sight word based, but he does use high frequency words that he knows how to sound out that you kind of use in a sight word fashion. And so it's a slower program, but I feel like he really gets it. It's like he understands all the different sounds of all the different phonograms. Fantastic program. It comes with some readers. So here's the purple ones are for D, and the orange ones are for C. So it comes with that. It comes with another of these books. This one's called Knitting Nights, Beyond the Sounds of ABC, as well as the spelling rules flashcards are new for the C and D. And so it's a great program. It's a all-inclusive language arts program. It has the phonics learn to read stuff. It has spelling. It has handwriting. We actually have not been using too much of the handwriting because we picked cursive because I didn't want to start with manuscript, but cursive was too hard. And so we switched with him last year to Danielian style, and we liked it, and it was really good. So I'm gonna put up a picture of the first grade workbook, the Danielian workbook that we're going to be using. We ordered it from Rainbow Resources, but they're a little slow right now, which is totally fine. It'll get here in time. So we're using that for handwriting. I'm really excited for him to finish up C and D, hopefully this year. If it takes him a little longer, I'm totally fine with that. We're not in any rush. And then we have been using sets of readers that we tend to pull out to have him practice, which I'll share a little bit about our reading for this current summer, where we're using some of these extra readers to keep him up on practicing his different sounds and keep him trying to sound out words. Math. Okay, so I have a review video where I have discussed his kindergarten math journey. We went through a couple different programs. We ended up on Singapore math, and we really like it. I like how they introduce ideas like concrete to abstract ideas within the teaching of every lesson. And so we first picked dimensions math. And so we actually still have to finish Dimensions Math KB for Kindergarten B. We didn't quite finish it up, so we'll just finish it up. It's not too big of a deal. I have the textbook as well as the workbook for him, and these both we write in them. I have a full flip through review of Dimensions Math that I'll link if you're interested in it. It's really good. And also that comparison math review where I compare Right Start, Math UC, and Singapore Dimensions. So we're going to finish this out, but I've made one more switch, which some people might think is crazy, but the more I dived into the dimensions, I liked it. I just realized I wasn't using a lot of the resources. They have a lot of different group activities and small group, large group, extra things, and it is geared more towards the classroom, which I didn't mind. Like, I used it if I needed, but I didn't find that I was actually using most of those things. And so what I've decided is to try the primary math. So this is still Singapore Math, Primary Mathematics 1A and 1B. So these are the teacher's guides, or the, what are they called? Home instructor guides. And then it comes with workbooks and textbooks. So very similar idea. In this case, what's different in the textbooks, you don't write in, where in Dimensions Math you do. So they're both kind of consumable. This is not consumable, so I'll use this, hopefully, with my other children, but it's very colorful, is the textbooks. And then the workbooks are the ones that he will use himself to work through the problems that we have just learned. So we are going to try this. I have high hopes because I have heard that it is a very similar program to Dimensions, and Dimensions worked really well for him. I really like the fact that it teaches a lot of mental math. I like that it's challenging because he just seemed to have a knack for math. This is all that you need for the program. You can just pick up some extra manipulatives for your kiddo to work with. I've heard this is just more geared for homeschoolers. And if anybody is interested, after a couple months of using Primary Math with my son, if you want like a comparison of my thoughts of the two, let me know, and I'm happy to do that. I just want to get into this a little bit to have a feel for it before I make a video about that. And then I mentioned handwriting. We're using the Danielian workbook, and then we're going to be doing copywork. So we're starting the copywork narration aspect of our homeschool now that he's in first grade. I picked up Writing with Ease. It's a Susan Wise Bauer book, so it's from The Well-Trained Mind, so I'll try and not have a glare. This is the one that you design your own writing curriculum. This book teaches you how to do that. So like I said, I'm using some really amazing programs, literature-based programs that have wonderful books associated with it. And even in this, like the Build Your Library curriculum that I mentioned on Monday, Emily includes sentences for copywork from some of those books that are part of that program. So what I was thinking is I didn't want to then take a whole different writing curriculum and pull those from that passage from The Little House in the Big Woods or something like that. I wanted to pull it directly from what we were reading. And so this book kind of helps you with that. Like for instance, I just marked the first week, like day 1, first copywork exercise, and it tells you how to do it. First narration exercise on day 2, and then copywork day 3, and narration day 4. And so my plan, my hope is that what I'm going to do is use this book on the weekends to like come up with my sentences for copywork and maybe think through a little bit of the narration, knowing what we're going to be reading this upcoming week. So I don't want to prep this out way too far in advance. It'd be more something that I prep as we go based on what we're reading. And what's cool about this is I could use it for the literature we're reading. So if we're reading some Charlotte's Web or something like that, I can use it for that. Or I can use it for the science. So if we wanted to do some science narration where he narrates it back to me and then I write it down and he copies it, or things like that. So I have history, science, or literature that I could pull my copywork and narration passages from. That's my hopes. I hope that's not too overwhelming for me, but I liked how it tied in. That just made a lot more sense to me, is to take something where I'm just explained how to do it, and then I do it myself. If anybody's used this, please comment below, because I would love to hear more about your experience with it, because I'm probably the most nervous about getting into starting the copywork and narration. In here, she really stresses the fact that this age shouldn't be doing a lot of creative writing or being asked to come up with ideas and then put them on paper. They should be copying sentences from well-written books as they learn some of that stuff. But I love also kind of the brave writer type stuff, and I had picked up Jot It Down for last year, and I want to get back into this. So this is more of the idea that you are jotting down your child's thoughts, their stories, their narrations, really. And you're making it fun. There's a lot of fun projects that she has in here. Also emphasizing that their thoughts and their ideas and their stories have value, and you're excited to hear them, and they're worth writing down. And so then when they get to a point in a couple years where they're able to start having those creative ideas, as well as having the ability, the fine motor control of their writing, as well as the grammar, that they can take those and put them on paper without frustration. And so it's kind of a both and. So I'm using kind of this and this. I don't know if anybody else is doing that, but that makes sense in my head. So I'm going to be testing that out with my son this year for first grade. The next thing I'm doing kind of in that language arts world is starting grammar. Now, starting very loosely. I picked up first language lessons for the Well-Trained Mind Level 1, and I'm excited about it. It's very short lessons and it's all oral. So you're just kind of working with your kiddo. You're talking about different parts of speech. You're talking about capitalizing. You're talking about proper names versus common names, things like that. I don't want a big grammar program. He has enough to learn. Learning to read is a big enough deal. Like, that should take a lot of his brain power. That and math. Some of these other things are just like the start of the process. That's how I'm viewing it, at least. So I picked that up to start a little bit of grammar with him. See, and then the last thing I want to share is our love of logic in this house. So we're going to try out the lollipop logic. We're going to do some more from the Critical Thinking Company because we really like that. This one's math analogies in the beginning. So this is K through 1. I had this from last year. We just didn't finish it up. We have a little bit left. This is the Can You Find Me? Building Thinking Skills. He's doing really well with those. He's been doing these mind benders. We're almost done with the pre-KK. Oh, like really close to done. So we will finish this up, and then I picked him up the next one, the grade 1 and 2. So he enjoys these. At first it was a little bit harder because he really can't read them. So I always have to read them with him, but then I let him work out the logic himself, and he's gotten a lot better at it. So we have all of these, and I'm hoping this lasts us all year. Otherwise, I'll pick up more resources. If you know of any good resources that you want to share in the logic world, I will take recommendations because my kids love logic, and it's so much fun. I love logic. That might be why I picked these, because I remember doing these in school and just feeling so smart. So that's all the curriculum I have for him, and more of the skills, individual work. And my plan, my hopes, is to put them all kind of in a big binder so that he has kind of his history copy work and his science work and has all his sheets for phonics as well as all his sheets for math all together. That's my thoughts for organization, but I'm still pondering that. This is what I have. Please let me know again if you have any questions about any particular curriculum. If you want to see any flip throughs, if you want to hear more about what I've shared, I'm more than happy to do that. Please subscribe if you like what you see. And again, remember, I have one more video coming, kindergarten. And if you want to see our family stuff, go back to the Monday video. So yeah, that is all I have. I hope you enjoy this as much as I enjoyed making it. And I will see you in the next video. Okay, take care.